All right. Well, we're here, and it's our favorite time of the week. I don't know. Is it your favorite? I guess we'll find out if it's your favorite time of the week.
It is.
Because
Lots of times,
it's,
but
not maybe not this week. We find out how we did, if we met our goals, what things happened this week, and why. See how the VOMP group did.
Yeah.
So that's what we do in these videos. They're part of their own playlists, along with Todd's tips. Sometimes we'll answer questions. If you have them, feel free to ask them. You can get a hold of us at hudsonbarsness@yahoo.com, or you can comment below in the comment section. So, anyway, with that said, let's see how our week went. Go ahead, Johnny, with the VO Marketing Pro Group.
So we didn't send out this week.
Oh.
Or
I bet you I know
very
why.
little. End of the month, beginning of the month, we want to make sure that our database is good and cleaned up before we start sending out. And so we didn't send out, but we still have stats. So we had 29 warm responses still.
Guess what? Those emails are still out there.
Yes, I saw, I won't mention their names, but some auditions come in. And one of them, their first touch to them was February of 2022. And they were responding back to that email.
Of course.
So that's an indication that some people say, I'm not, some people might say, well, I'm not getting anything right now. Well, there's possibilities out there, and we see that come in at later dates sometimes. And we report these based on when they come in that week. So even though it came back in February, we have no clue that it came in February or that there was any sort of wanting for them to have that person.
And
so
you'll also see that happen with warm responses. And even if you keep, like my assistant Andy, sometimes he's sent out over the years 20 times, to warm responses, and they haven't responded, or they have. Oh yeah, thanks a lot. We'll keep you in mind. And then on the 20th time, or the 15th time, or the 10th time, they respond.
Yep.
Oh.
So, anyway, 29 warm responses, 12 auditions, and 5 jobs reported. So Kimberly Young times 2. Donnie
Recurring client, I think.
Yeah, recurring.
Right?
Donnie Barnes with a recurring client.
Boom, Donnie.
Tyler Boss, recurring.
Boom.
4.
And Hudson Barsness, I believe, was recurring.
That's true. Yeah.
So a total of 5. And this
Mine
time,
was new.
Oh, yes, 6.
I had
6
a new
with
one.
a new
Yep,
one
'cause
from
mine is always
Singapore,
new. Yep.
if I remember correctly. So that's
Singaporeing it on is what you said.
over
didn't you?
700
Kinda
emails
did.
sent out this week for the roster.
How many?
The roster, 700 and some.
Wow. 700.
And
That's a lot.
Drew made cold calls yesterday.
Now,
And they were doing that every week.
people that are a part of the roster,
Yep.
this is something that we've added on as a value add. The cold calls, which you try to make them every week, and you try to get with about 10. Do 10 cold calls.
Yep,
Sometimes they go through, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're successful, sometimes they're not. And then the emails that my assistant Andy sends out on behalf of the roster, those are a value add as well. So another 700 emails goes out for the roster, not specifically for individuals like your email, but nevertheless,
Separate, but
gets some eye traffic on our roster.
Yep.
Thanks.
So
All right. So this week I did send out. I had 6 warm responses. Sorry. 6 warm responses, 0 auditions, 0 new clients. But I had a recurring client that I haven't worked with in probably 8 months. And they've been a big client for me. And they came back with a new script. And that made me happy. We talked about it last week. I didn't add it to my numbers last week because we didn't know exactly what the price was for it, the budget. Well, they came back and said $400. So I got $400 for it, which is very nice. And then a guy that I had worked with a couple weeks ago had kind of a script that he wanted done kind of in a Sam Elliott style. I don't pretend to have a Sam Elliott voice, but he liked my voice and kind of wanted a rough, so I went for it. We were going to do 3 takes. Well, he took 2 of them and said, hey, we'll pay you for the 3rd one, even though you didn't do it. So I had put 400 on whatever week that was, and there was 200 left over, so I added that to mine. That was kind of a nice one of those things. So $600 in direct email marketing. Then I had a $20, $40, and $60 job on Upwork for $108 altogether, and then a $25 job on Fiverr. So Total without editing was $728. Then I did 5 hours of editing for Dad this week for a grand total of $828. So I passed my $750. What are you?
I'm thinking that I
mixed up
did
about?
6 jobs that you always do editing for me, and so I think you're missing one.
Okay.
But whatever.
That's all right.
That's not a problem.
I'll pay it forward.
Very nice.
$20. Yeah.
How many did you do any auditions for Voice 1, 2,
I
3?
did. I probably did 15 this week, 20.
Yeah.
But nothing still. And I probably have done anywhere from 60 to 75 auditions so far.
I was
had a
just-
couple of
yeah.
them liked, which is nice.
I was just listening to our buddy, VO coach and mentor, Bill DeWees, and he was saying how, and you know this, you hear it all the time, but it's such a good reminder that anything you do in business, and in this particular area specifically we're talking about voiceover business, it's a numbers game. It just takes time. So Hudson has just recently got onto Voice 1, 2, 3, paid his yearly subscription, and now he's doing time in the Voice 1, 2, 3, I don't know what, I don't call
Roller
it
coaster
prison,
ride.
but what's that?
Roller coaster ride.
Yeah, and especially you just have to.
You gotta put your time
You got to
in.
put your time in, and somehow you start to get noticed, and then you put enough of them in there, and all of a sudden you win a job, or you get an audition, and somebody says, "Hey, that guy was pretty good." They might not even tell you. I'll keep that in mind. And 3 months later, you get an invitation, a specific private invitation or something. It just takes time. It takes time for direct email marketing. It takes time if you're going to get agents. It takes time to be on Fiverr or Upwork. I know that firsthand because I'm trying to dig into Upwork, and it's slow going. Like I had a slow week this week, and so I said I'm going to pour it on with regard to Upwork. So I probably sent out 7 or 8 proposals. That's a lot for me, and I won one job. It was a $40 job. I don't even get $40. I get $36. It's think about this. It's goofy. It's for a luxury car dealer. So they're paying me $36 for a luxury car. Here these cars are going for $75,000, $100,000, and I'm getting $36 to hawk them. Oh, well, I'm doing my time is what I'm doing. So for me, that's one thing. $36 for Upwork. I did make something. For Fiverr, it was a better week. $1,272. $1,272, so I was over the 1,000 mark. And for direct email marketing, quite slow, 2,126. My total was almost 3,000. I was just over half of what I typically try to get, and that my goal is 6,000. I made $3,398. $3,398 this week. I have a couple of bigger projects out there that are in the works, but they're not paying right now because I haven't done them. So that's my week. You wanted to talk a little bit about reporting.
Report.
We want to continue to encourage people to report. That is the people that are part of VO Marketing Pro, whether you get a job from direct marketing that we help you with or something from the roster. We typically know a little bit more when the roster,
Correct.
because video production companies have a tendency to come to us. But there are some times, and it might be more frequent than people out there might think, and so it's important to keep an eye on it, that, like, for instance, we might send out 100 emails or 200 emails, and the video production company might say, oh, I like this. And so they click on your website, and they go right to your website, and then if you aren't keeping track of that or whatever, then we don't know about that. And so it's important for us to know why. Why are
Well,
some
and you
reasons?
don't know about it. You don't know that.
They don't know about
You
it.
don't know about where it came from, possibly.
The people that we're sending out for, the people part of VO
Correct.
Marketing
Correct.
Pro.
We're not suggesting that you're not organized or that there isn't whatever like
Yeah,
that. We just
right.
we just know that life's busy, and so you get something and you say, oh well, maybe that came in from my SEO is up or whatever, and so you say, well, that came through my website, but it's possible, like Dad said, that it's that they clicked on the link to from your signature or whatever, or looked you up, and they got a hold of you via that. And so, what was the question you asked me?
Why
So
is it important?
So
Well,
you don't know how they got
Yeah.
a hold of you.
Yeah.
You just chalk that up as to something maybe that you
So people wouldn't know.
Correct.
Is my direct marketing
Correct.
working through VO Marketing Pro?
Yeah.
And wouldn't you? Your point is, wouldn't you want to know that?
Especially
That's
if you're
important.
paying for it.
Yeah,
it's
you're
like,
paying for it.
wouldn't
You'd want to
it
say,
work?
well,
Yeah.
I got 10 warm responses last month or the last couple of months, and then I got a job. Well, you want to make sure you link that back. So you say, is this growing? Is this ROI worth it? Different
Correct.
things like that.
You probably also want to know if your SEO was actually working instead of just chalking it up to say that was my SEO.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
not working. Maybe it is. I'm not trying to say that, but maybe
Yeah.
maybe you got it through direct email marketing and you thought, oh, my SEO is doing wonderful. And it's like, well, it's actually not.
The people that start with us, we send an email out that's pretty generic. Then we send it to you, and we say that it's everybody starts in the starter kit, and that it's so that you can get to know us and we can get to know you. And one of the ways is by reporting is how we get to know who how you work with your business. And so it's just we like to know what's going on. You don't have to give us a bunch of details, but Joe, we have multiple times where people have got a hold of us and said, I don't know how this person got a hold of me. Is this from you? And many times it is from us, but there are other times where we didn't, or we're not 100% sure. So we give you the credit as that's maybe something that came in through your website. So we're not looking to take credit where credit isn't due. We just want to make sure that that you're understanding where things are coming from, because we're your marketing assistant. And so that's important. And we also want to make sure that we don't keep sending out to that company.
Yes, hugely important. Yes.
and
That's embarrassing when you keep sending out to
and we've
them
had
and they
people
become a
that
client.
we have a very large database. And we
Yeah.
have people that are sending out, or they've had clients in the past and they say, "Ooh, that got to my client that I didn't want. It didn't want that going to," and so we're able to take that person off the list. But we've had people contact us and say that they found something, and that helps us know that they're on the ball with what's coming in consistently, and it also lets us know that they want this to work. They want direct email marketing to work, and to have us be that kind of relationship. And I know it's difficult to trust. It can be difficult to trust right off the bat when you start with us, because you don't know us from Adam. So, that's why we want to build that trust. You have to trust us to send out, and we have to trust that you'll report. And we're not looking to take credit for something that isn't ours, but we want to. There's good reasons why we do it, and we've tried to explain that over the time. And there's new people that start, and we just want to encourage them to report when they can, and so that's just why we do it.
Well,
and so we appreciate that when people do.
If you're just starting out and you're looking at our Facebook group, don't you want to see, maybe it's not you. The biggest encouragement would be is if you got a job, but wouldn't you want to know that, 7 people got a job this week, 12 people got a job this week, 7 people got a job this next week. You'd want to know that because you want to say, well, it's working for other people. If I hang in there, it'll work for me. And so if you're part of the group, we just ask you to make sure, try to be a good partner with us. Just, make sure you report so that's not only things are working, but it can kind of help other people too. And I'm sure you'll be encouraged when you find the fact that other people are reporting and you go, wow, this is working. Because I know it works. I mean, there's never a question. Hudson is seeing you had $600 this week in direct email marketing.
Well, and I did 2 jobs that were also, they came in right before our numbers last week.
Yeah.
And I put the money towards last week, but I did the jobs on Monday. So I had a fair amount. I mean, and like I said, some of the work that I did last week and the week before came in this week.
Correct.
So it's it just.
Yep. You're building.
And there are people that are. I mean, a lot of people are good at reporting when they have stuff, but just to encourage that to do that, and trying to give you reasons behind, because you can hear us say, well, report in these numbers things, but there's a reason why, and trying to give more reasons why that is encouraging to you, why you report, and also helps us to keep things clean for you when we're sending out, so that we don't
That's a big thing.
step on each other, if you will, in our marketing efforts. So,
All right, there were our numbers. Thanks for bringing those, guys. If you're ever interested in more videos like that, you can check them out in our numbers playlist, or you can check out the Todd's Tips videos in their playlists. So we'll see you later, and have a good week.